Welcome to the WMAR Vault. I'm Jamie Costello. Here at WMAR, we're celebrating 75 years on the air. We were the first TV station in Maryland, and now we're setting our sights on the future in streaming. And to that end, we're opening up the WMAR Vault, and we're dusting off 16 million feet of archive footage. You know, as summer starts to turn into fall, we begin to get into fair and festival season, the Maryland State Fair, the Renaissance Festival, and of course, Artscape. So let's take a trip now back to the fairs and the festivals of yesteryear.
And the little people, the Loiger, the Czar, the Ethagua.
Pretty and forsooth, you may ask, what is a Renaissance Festival? Why, if any knave or varlet or even the village idiot knows, it's a recreation of medieval days for fun and profit, causing people like these who have real jobs in real life to pretend to be Queen Elizabeth and Cardinal Wolsey and Merlin the Magician, and to go around talking in oldie English like this.
The Queen is in favor of your goodly spells, but what think ye of these strange and rather ugly, one might say, creatures?
This is the third time round for the festival, an engaging attempt by lawyers and accountants to make literary fantasies profitable. They convert a part of Symphony Woods in Columbia into a 16th century Eden and stage jousts, witches' enchantments, and one-act plays.
This flood is nigh, well may ye see, therefore tarry you not.
I shall follow thee, fool. Fools should always go first.
When fools go first, it's well known, reporters quickly follow. What they'll find here, starting this weekend and continuing for the next 4 weekends, includes music and dance, displays by local craftsmen, and lots of now people in then costumes. Like any fair, this features food, with an emphasis on period pieces like mead and ale, steak and kidney pie, and roast whole turkey legs, suitable for throwing to the dogs after you finish them, or maybe before. They cost $2 each, which is steep, but remember, this is a festival dealing with 20th century prices. Remember, those heraldic banners you see flying behind the scenes hover over a gas-guzzling trailer. And remember, the turkey legs get delivered by a food supplier who may rob from the rich, but still has to pay utility costs. There are enough artsy-craftsy things to see and do here to spend most of a day, but probably more fun to watch are skits like this one of mock knights doing mock battle for their lords. Something like this will be happening each Saturday and Sunday from 10 till 6 through October 21st. And if you don't object to the $4 per person admission charge, you should enjoy it. I certainly found it enjoyable and a great tension reliever when they let me into the battle scene.
There. Take that, assignment editor. Take that, assistant news director. Take that, managing editor. You know, this idea has possibilities. I'm Andrew Barth, on the scene at the Renaissance Festival in Columbia. Take that, outrageous fortune. Okay, you all right? Thank you.
Columbia's Renaissance Festival is part theater, part games and food, and a large part of you. You've got to let yourself go to have a good time. There are things to see.
The hardest part about juggling machetes is stopping. There are 2 techniques. There's the turn and run technique. Or you can throw one up, hand the other one across, and count your fingers. Here goes. Up, over, and across. Come on!
And things to do.
Come, me lords and ladies, come try your hand at the dart toss. Come, me lords, show you ladies how good you are at throwing small, sharp objects.
And there is plenty to eat. A roasted turkey leg is a meal in itself. And all over there are bits of theater to involve everyone. And there are games for kids and games for adults.
All this merriment, by the way, goes on through every weekend in September and on into the first 2 weekends in October.
Francis!
Ready, go! Francis Harden on the scene at the Renaissance Fair in Columbia.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Watch so you don't get tangled in it. Now we let him go.
Each year, the city fair draws about 2 million people to the Inner Harbor. And before the ribbon cutting, Mayor Schaefer talked about the unique attraction that draws so many people to the inner city and makes this fair different from all the others in the world.
And the reason our city fair has remained the greatest city fair in the history of the United States is because the city fair people never forgot that the heart of this great festival fair are the neighborhoods. And there they are. Oh, how many? 80 neighborhoods in the city of Baltimore. You ought to just turn around and look. 83. And cheer and applaud every one of those great neighborhoods that have worked so hard to make our city great.
And here they are. One could spend a whole day just walking through the Baltimore neighborhoods at the Baltimore City Fair.
Welcome back to the City Fair, Union Square. Hot peanuts, 25 cents a bag, I'd love some. What year is this for Union Square? How many? 10th year? Yep. I'll be right back. Hello.
You got to try to get a hole-in-one.
A hole-in-one for Northeast, right? You hold
and you get
my
a coloring book.
I get a coloring book. Okay, can we put all this stuff down here?
I can hold it.
Okay, now let's see. I'll step over here.
There's a up harder. Try another.
Oh, I see.
Get another chance.
There you go. How's that? I got a coloring book.
Yeah.
Dog.
And one for the whole stand.
Okay, thank you. From plants to pot holders. Hi.
How are you?
What neighborhood is this?
Providence Community Mental Health and West Side Housing.
Oh, have you been to the fair every year for 10 years?
Every year for 10 years. And all our pot holders and bedspreads are made by our patients at Providence Community Mental Health.
It's really hard to describe the spirit and the feeling of the fair unless you come here. I know I've been here every year for 10 years. Can you put it into words?
I can't. It's the best thing ever happened to Baltimore, really. It's the only thing I can say. Baltimore's best, and this is the best. But you meet everybody here that has one concern, what's happening in Baltimore.
Even fresh-cut silk, black-eyed Susans from Risley's Delight. Hi. Have you all been to the fair every year for the 10 years?
This is our third year.
Third year. So you're a relative newcomer.
We're a new community.
Oh, well, welcome to the City Fair.
Thank you. It's great fun.
Yeah, it is. It's the friendliest place in the whole world. It's a people place, the Baltimore City Fair. I'm Susan White Bowden reporting on the scene from the Baltimore City Fair. Oh, thank you. Now I'm ready.
There you go.
Now I'm ready. Have a good time.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Preparations for the big opening ceremony started well before dawn this morning. Workers, many of them volunteers, scurried about putting the finishing touches on the neighborhood booths and displays.
And I believe there's a new spirit going on around this year as far as the city fair is concerned, and I've even gotten caught up in it myself.
You know, weeks, maybe even months of planning have gone into this year's fair, but the pace really starts to pick up and things get rolling as the opening hour approaches. Chairs by the armload and tables by the truckload had to be in place by the time the crowds began arriving. But what would opening day be without the unexpected?
One of our marching groups that was supposed to be in the parade tomorrow, the Marquee Drum and Bugle Corps, got a little confused and showed up today. So we're really lucky that we can make them now part of our opening ceremony. And of course, they'll be back tomorrow to be in the big parade that starts at 10 o'clock.
Two of Baltimore's newest characters got all spruced up to meet the crowds this weekend, as other workers began a job that they'll keep doing all weekend. The fences are up, the spota pots are in line on Pleasant Street, and except for a few minor details, the 16th City Fair is on its way to another weekend celebration of fun in Baltimore City. Brenda Carl, Channel 2 News at the Baltimore City Fairgrounds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's traditional to start the fair with a ribbon cutting, and that tradition lived today, replete with balloons. It has been traditional to follow that with a Hyman Pressman poem, but a vast improvement on that was inaugurated this year. Who says there's no progress? Other than that, the 16th annual was like most of its predecessors, with slightly higher prices and ever-increasing variety of foods. The onion has been designated the official vegetable of the 1985 City Fair, and the kebab, the now out, formerly in, food item. A beer runs $1 this year, a crab cake $3, and one vendor is trying to take the fair uptown with beers of the world instead of the usual home brews. The usual collection of interest groups rented booths next to the usual collection of pit beef dealers, all of which did well. Only commercial operators you find all year round seem to be doing slow business, and indeed, when you can eat the exotic, why go for the familiar? The fair's location has been criticized by everyone from the mayor to the man in the street, but today they all recanted, enjoying the shade provided by the underside of the expressway. The only downside is that it's a long way from the rides at the north end of the fair to the neighborhood booths at the south. But if you allow for a leisurely stroll past the boardwalk games and the carousels, past the jewelry salesmen and the sausage sellers, past my nominee for best per ounce value of the fair, a whole turkey leg for $1.50, you can celebrate Baltimore and be glad the fair lives one more year. Think of this as its housewarming. I'm Andy Barth at large for Channel 2 News.
Tonight, the fair is alive. Alive with rides, alive with games, alive mostly with people having fun. Fair officials have not seen a city fair with this much energy on the first night in a long time.
There's a feeling, there's an excitement in the air. People are glad to be at the city fair tonight, and I know that they're going to be glad to be at the city fair for the rest of the weekend.
This is the heart of the city fair, the neighborhood section. It's here where all of Baltimore's ethnic mix comes together to celebrate Baltimore. From Wyman Park to Rosemont to Waverly, it was for some the main reason people traveled to Baltimore for the fair.
Also, I think a lot of civic pride is very distinctive here, not so evident in Washington.
It's very entertaining. I'm learning a lot about the other neighborhoods because I don't know much about the city because I'm in Baltimore County.
The fair opened for the 16th year this morning in yet a new location at the end of the Jones Falls Expressway. And while parking and traffic were for some a problem, that seemed to be one of the only problems here.
I like the location this year. It's a lot better than before.
I love it.
Tell me why.
Because it's close to where I live at.
Oh, I think it's great.
The Mount Royal section of Baltimore is one of the more popular cultural centers of the city. That's true even more so this weekend as the city presents for the first time Artscape. And as the name implies, it includes a wide range of art forms, paintings, other visual exhibits, crafts, dance, music, and more. Just a sample of the musical variety that will be heard the next couple of days. Tomorrow and Sunday, blues, jazz, and other musical entertainment. Most will agree Artscape is a good idea. Others, such as Baltimore City Councilman Norman Reeves, says it's more than a good idea. It's needed.
It's great for the arts. It's great for Baltimore City. And I think particularly during these times when people are depressed about things, certainly this gives everyone a lot of uplifts and gives a chance to, really view things that are beautiful and wonderful and free and alive. And I think it's what we need.
I'm really glad that they're having it because I feel the arts are really important and Baltimore needs it.
It's wonderful. I love very much.
I think it's very nice because the mayor's down here and what else? The music and the food.
Those taking part in Artscape say they are doing so as much out of pride in the city of Baltimore as pride in displaying their talents. And they're hoping Artscape will be a success, one more opportunity to put the city in the limelight.
The sound of Italian music, the smell of Italian cooking, and the sound of laughter. You're at the 10th Annual Italian Festival, and the Baltimore Italian community has pulled out all the stops to show the city why they're so proud of their heritage. If you enjoy good food, leave all thoughts of dieting at home. There's pepperoni, Italian sausage, fried dough, lasagna, linguine, fantastic pastries, and drinks. There are booths to browse through and lots of excitement for the kids. There's dancing and singing, and tonight a cannoli eating contest. Tomorrow the competition turns to the search for the champion spaghetti eater. President of the Sons of Italy, Francis Valli, says the Italian community wants to show Baltimore their pride in their heritage.
I think because of the family closeness and the unity, that is the real meaning of the Italians, the family. That's the basic unit of society. When you have a strong family, you have a strong nation.
The Italian Festival holds the record as the largest of the ethnic festivals in Baltimore. It's full of great food. I have ruined my diet for a week now. Marvelous music and really fun entertainment. But all the true Italians here would like us to point out that there is a historical display that shows the Italian contribution to the American dream. Linda Carson,
News Scene 2, the Inner Harbor.
We're here ringside at the second annual cannoli eating contest. The drama is mounting. In just a moment, this self-explanatory exercise in gluttony will get underway. And these people will have 3 minutes to try to stuff down as many cannolis as they can.
3, 2, 1, consume!
The redeeming social value for all this is a donation to charity. The damage anyone can do is limited by the time available, but that damage is still considerable since these cannolis are a cream-filled shell with ricotta cheese and chocolate sprinkles. It consists mostly of whipped calories. My preparation for all this was covering a Polish sausage eating contest once with no time limit, which almost persuaded me to go into another line of work. The contestants were from local radio stations and one notable one from the city council, and they went about their work with vigor. As the seconds dwindled down, the eventual winner was named. He was last year's winner, Jim Golden of 96 FM. Will you ever eat another cannoli?
Never. Not until next year. If I win.
If you live.
If I live.
And thus ends another highlight of the social season. I'm Andrew Barth, at large for News Scene 2.
Special sauce, South Carolina good home-cooked chicken.
And it gets better. You think these guys are having a good time? It's back to the menu. Just what do we miss when we miss out on soul food? Well, the good doctor tells us.
We miss out on the barbecue ribs, the barbecue pig's feet, barbecue chicken, the barbecue beans. We also have collard greens and potato salad, okay? All of which is Baltimore's best. Right here at Doc's Barbecue Ribs. Thanks a lot.
Paid for by Doc himself, right? Your doc. Inside Festival Hall, more music and exhibits, which tell of the many contributions blacks have made to America. Harry Stokes remembers what blacks have done for Maryland.
Well, you start with Matthias de Sousa. He came over with the Cowboys in 1630. Now, he was not the pilot on the boat coming up, but you don't take a man's knowledge. When he went over into Kent Island, he came ship in order to sail the Chesapeake Bay and trade with the Susquehannock Indians. That was 1634, March the 25th. And we just running up the line like that until we got to Mayor Duburn's, which is 1987.
Back outside, the people mix and mingle and dance and eat and shop. But most of all, they remember their cherished background. From AFRAN 87, Jamie Costello, Channel 2 News.
Present time, we're about 47,000 people up over last year, but 30,000 of those persons are due to that opening day.
Of course, there are always first-time visitors to the Maryland State Fair, but we've found that most people who come to the fair are like I am. They come year after year, and they come, yes, for the fun of the Midway, but mostly for the animals.
This is the Arabian Division, Maryland State Fair, Class 9, Arabian Filly Foal.
That's the most important part to me. Yeah, sure is.
The children are able to pet the animals and get a real close-up look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always wanted to own a horse of my own. That's why I always wanted. If I could get one and just ride it, I would just grab it.
You come out every year to look at the horses?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, now how old I think you are. Let me tell me how old you really are. Put your age down probably at about...
The Maryland State Fair does in fact have everything. Everything that is, except time. Tomorrow's the last day. I'm Susan White Bowden at the fair for Channel 2 News.
Oh, you're doing it.
Hey!
Whoa!
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm doing it!
Well, she can do it. That's quite impressive.
Not a lot, but I did it. Thank you so much for not kicking. Thank you.
And what's the name of the cow? Whiskey. Well, that's
Whiskey.
I'd say it was entertaining.
Where are we? We're over here. I hope you all saw that at home. Oops. Nothing. I'm just a little nervous.
Now here's a memory. Crowded House had just come out with Don't Dream It's Over. And they had sung this song under the JFX for the City Fair. And then the next day they were up on the Letterman show and they were dressed with their DPW jumpers. I remember they were orange at the time, I think. And they were representing Baltimore on the David Letterman show up in New York. You know, I probably spent as much time at the Maryland State Fair as I have here at Channel 2. What a good time we've had over this last 75 years, huh? WMAR has brought the news right into your home, from film to video to tiny digital cards and over the air, cable, satellite, and now streaming. And we'll keep moving forward and remember to look back at the stories and the moments that made us all Maryland. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the WMAR Vault. We'll see you next time. Hey, it's Jamie Costello. If you just enjoyed this episode of The Vault, you can check out more episodes by clicking on this box down here. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that circle, and that'll subscribe you to WMAR 2 News for great content every single day.